Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Tea. My name is Tracy V. Allen. You're accustomed to seeing me every morning by myself, and I'm just talking up a storm really fast because some of you have said I speak too fast. Okay, so I'll try to slow down today. But this morning, I have a special guest with me. We've been going through a lot of turbulent times with COVID-19 and just staying at home, having to practice social distancing. And I know that it can be very stressful to a lot of people, especially if you have pre-existing conditions like some type of anxiety, depression, or any other type of mental illness, being away from people, having to stay at home, and just everything that's going on, listening to the news, listening to everything that's going on currently can be very taxing on the mental psyche of all of us, no matter how strong you think you are. It is like ridiculous, especially when we're hearing things like, oh, we're going to have to practice social distancing till about 2022. Like, what? That's ridiculous, right? So today I brought with me Dr. Jackie Evans Phillips. She is the midwife of purpose, and she's a clinical psychologist and my friend. And she's going to be here to talk to us about how we can preserve our mental psyche, how we can build bonds with our families now that we're home with them and we're seeing them every day, right? Because a lot of times, be honest, you see them at 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening, and then you're asleep by 8, and to do the same routine over and over again. And then on Saturdays and Sundays is either church or you're running around trying to get everything done that you could not get done during the week because you were at work or school or whatever it is. So she's going to give us tips and strategies on how we can deal with that type of stuff that we have going on in our lives today. So, Jackie, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Thursday, right? Happy Thursday. Thank you, Tracy, for having me on your show this morning. I think in this season more than ever, we really need to be vigilant. We need, there's so much change that's happening at one time. And the question is exactly how we go through the change. And I am on a mission in terms of my company, Life Changers. I'm on a mission of healing, restoration, and really helping individuals through this season to move through. My company, Life Changers Consulting, we work, our three principles are heal, write, and create impact. And in this season that we are working with individuals as they go through the healing process, as they go through the change, to really help them adjust through this season. So I am excited to be here. I'm excited for us to talk and strategize exactly what is the best strategy, because everyone's rate of change and adjustment is different. So we'll talk a little bit about different types of populations or different segments of people and what would be the best recommendation from a practical and spiritual perspective.
Awesome. So at Life Changes Institute, who is your demographic? What type of people are you working with? What age group? Are you working with mostly males or females? Tell us about that.
So Life Changes Consulting is the parent company. And under
Mhm.
Life Changes Consulting, I have three divisions. Well, I have actually four divisions, and I work with four types of populations. But the underlying premise is that we use writing
Mhm.
as a tool. And so when we look at the Life Changes Center, we work with individuals. We have a team of clinicians where we do counseling, coaching, and mental health therapy.
Okay.
So we have a staff, and we are out there right now in the season to really help people who may need one-on-one counseling. We are in the process of doing some groups as well. So
Mhm.
if you're interested and you need some help in this season, or we have actually, I'm actually doing a group right now, the 21-day journey of prayer fasting and prayer journaling, taking people through this change as well. Now, the Life Changer Institute, these are people who are ready to write and share their stories.
Okay.
And in the right Life Changers Institute, if you're ready to write your book, if you're ready to share your story, I'm, I'm able to take you through the healing process of your trauma, of your story, and then take you through a transformative process to change your story into a message.
Oh,
The,
nice.
the third group we work with youth,
Mhm.
really helping them to understand who they are trying to break down some of that trauma before they move into adulthood. And the last group we work with is our online community, and that's the movement ready to help provide a supportive community where people can heal and share their stories.
Awesome. A lot of healing and sharing going on.
Yes, yes.
There's something in
Healing.
your background that's causing some noise. I don't know if you're scraping your hand on something or.
Are you still hearing it?
No, not now.
Okay.
Okay, that's awesome. So, like I said before, a lot of people are going through a really hard time dealing with social distancing, because as human beings, we are people who need to be around people. Naturally, we need to be around other people and a variety of different people, different personalities and everything, in order to feel a certain amount of wholeness. So what kind of strategies can you give to people who are, which is most people, at home practicing social distancing, and they're beginning to feel lost, and they're beginning to feel a sense of depression? They're just not feeling themselves right now, and it's beginning to weigh on them mentally.
Mm-hmm. I think our ability to adjust, to change, and fall into the rhythm of the season is all based on an individual. It's all based on individuality. It's based on prior experiences. It's based on a lot of different things. So the question is exactly, I think by telling yourself it's okay where you are will be one, because you may feel that I'm comparing my adjustment to you. And when I compare my adjustment to you, I feel less than. And so one of the things we have to do is, okay, tell ourselves, okay, what are we doing through this season? You know, and I was actually talking to my son last night, so he's having difficulty adjusting to going online. And one of the things I said to him is, okay, yes, it's okay. It's okay. But the question is then, let's try to talk about flexibility. What are some of those building blocks we can build towards flexibility? And the very first thing we have to do is start to create a schedule. Start to create a schedule and tell yourself, you know what, there are different seasons. And in this season, let me try to put some order and structure. Yes, I am not sure exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, but let's try to create an order and structure in terms of maybe the very basic, in terms of what time will I get up? And it may not be the fact that you might be able to do like a project or write a book or something in this instance, but actually let's create some type of structure. So Mondays could be X days. Also try to use social media to connect with your friends and families. Developing that connection. Yes, we're drinking our tea. Developing that connection with someone, I think, is critical. So one, develop a structure. To make that connection with family and friends. Also use that time and opportunity, and we're talking about stillness, to do something that you didn't get a chance to do before. And so we're moving in towards creating a game plan. And as we create a game plan, we could actually associate doing different things on different days. And that's going to create some type of excitement. That's going to be something that you're going to be looking for. So these are small milestones. So some type of structure, associating different days with different things. Someone was talking about Martini Saturdays. You know, a friend of mine
is always a good thing.
Yes, a friend of mine told me to download Hangout, I think. And then we're gonna come out together and do some wine and something like that.
Okay.
So we need
wine.
Yes. So we have to take a deep breath. We're in the season. And the last part I would say is journaling. Right through. Well, not journaling and praying. We have to connect to our spirituality, whatever the belief is. So we talked about 4 things. So let's start with praying. Connecting to your spiritual power, your spiritual God, deepening that faith. I would say journaling through the season, because it centers your spirit. Also, I would say making a schedule for your day. And also we talked about adding some fun to your day. Make it connect with friends and do something to whether it's
To break up the monotony.
exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Well, I do that. I have my go-to friends that I either like, hey, let's jump on Zoom or let's jump on FaceTime so I
Your
can
village.
see you and I can pretend that we're in person, and
Yes,
talk
yes,
to them during the day because it can become really monotonous being in
yes,
the house all day, kind of doing the same thing over and
yes,
over. So I really like what you talked about, making structure to your day, to your
yes.
week. What are you going to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Of course, things don't always go as planned, but at least you
Definitely.
have something like a jumping off point for it. Because yes, the monotony is stifling.
Can I add one more thing?
Right?
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
And it's okay if you skip a day.
Mhm.
It's okay if you stop
Okay.
because then you feel
Mhm.
pressured. I'm a failure. No, because we're just
Mhm.
adjusting to that schedule. We're just
Right.
adjusting to that rhythm. But in that rhythm and
Mhm.
in that season, you want to move forward and make it fun in the process.
Okay, great. Awesome. So one of the other things that I think a lot of people are having issues with is being at home, like I talked about earlier, with their spouse. Like
Yes.
you're really with your spouse now. You're really with your kids now because let's be honest, kids spend, and we're both former educators, kids spend practically 8 hours a day in
Mhm,
school. They
mhm,
see their teachers more than they see their parents, right? Because they're off to school or you got to get them ready like about 6 o'clock in the morning so they
mhm,
can get to school on time. By the time you come home from work at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, it's time to eat dinner, maybe help them with a little homework, and they're in bed by 8:30, right? On Saturdays and Sundays, depending on what your schedule is, you're out doing something else. So right now, parents are really
mhm,
getting to know their kids, like
mhm,
truly knowing their kids, because
mhm,
you're not spending Saturday and Sunday and a couple of hours per day with them. You're spending all day, every single day.
mhm,
We've been on lockdown here in Connecticut for what, 4 weeks now, 4 or 5 weeks now. So, what kind of strategies can you give people? Because they already projected that the divorce rate is going to skyrocket
mhm,
when
mhm,
this is over
mhm.
and done with, because people are realizing, oh, I don't like him or her. I thought I
Right,
loved her, but
right.
right now I realize, you're a lot to live with. And they're, beginning to see the stresses of, different things that their kids are going through, and understanding when the teacher said that your kid is bad, your kid is bad.
Right, right,
you know?
right.
So what kind of strategies can you give parents to overcome, or, families to overcome those hurdles that they're now discovering with their spouses and their kids?
So I try to give practical examples.
Mhm,
I try to give practical examples that I'm going through and examples that my friends and people around me,
mhm,
especially in our community. And so I would say the first thing, a couple of things we need to take into consideration. Prayer.
mhm,
And this morning on our prayer line, I was talking about some of the struggles I was having.
mhm,
And then I had a revelation.
mhm,
And the revelation is, how am I going to face the Goliath that's in front of me?
mhm,
And sometimes we see that the problem is sometimes much bigger than ourselves, but
mhm,
sometimes stepping back can really make a difference. And I say that to say, in terms of in terms of what we talked about, in terms of setting up a schedule and adjusting your days and your weeks and stuff like that, I would
mhm.
say take that same setting and apply it to the different facets in your home.
Okay.
Apply it into your home. Let's talk about your spouse. And one of the things that sometimes when you feel a struggle or structure,
Mhm.
the first line of mindset we may think is a divorce. No, because in order for us to go and really understand somebody,
Mhm,
we have to go, it has to be pulled.
mhm,
So see that as something positive, but have a reconstructive conversation
mhm.
to say, understand, yes, that we haven't been in close confinements in such a long time. So yes, we've adjusted differently, we've adapted differently,
Mhm.
but there is love there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There
Well,
is love
I
there.
assume that there's some love, or there was
Yes,
some type of love, because you married this person.
exactly,
You decided to
exactly,
commit in some type of a union to this person. So there had to
exactly.
be some form of love there before, but I guess love dies.
Well, no. And so, no, no, but I mean, love is the unifier. And love is the thing that we have a commitment and we're not going to break up. So
Right.
we already said that. We already said that premise. But understand the differences. So that means you don't have to be over that person 24/7. That means maybe one day you're cooking, another day you're doing something. So as a matter of another day, it could be date night for us.
Okay.
So
So you're talking, it's a matter of communication at this point in time, making sure that you have open, honest communication. And maybe you need to have some type of a medium. Maybe you need to have a Dr. Jackie come in and be a mediator, or have someone else. I mean, that's what therapists do. And you can't physically go into the therapist's office at this point in time, but you can have someone else, a professional family member, because that's just really messy now. Someone else come in as a mediator to kind of help you through the hurdles that you're going through.
But I think, Tracy, the key thing about it is having that mindset. I think the mindset is the key.
Okay.
The mindset is the key. And understanding that, yes, even though we have an argument, it's not the end of the world. And understanding that we've adjusted and shifted, and we are adjusting and shifting. And my rate of adjustment compared to your rate of adjustment is different. So what I'm exhibiting to you, and that's coming across to you, I'm not going to take it personal. That could be your adjustment.
That's a definite mindset shift.
It is.
A lot of people take things personal. If you tell them something that they don't like, it's personal.
Yes.
And they're going to hold on to it. And imagine having to hold on to that type of a feeling, and you're in the house, locked down with this person.
Yes.
Like
that. So we build those monsters. So the key thing about it is giving each other space, giving each other space in the house. And there are times where we're going to come together. One of the things I'm working through now, because I'm going through some of those things, it's finding that balance, because I'm working. And then maybe my spouse or the kids or whatever needs some attention. So let's figure out exactly how we're going to work. So it's a mindset shift. It's a game plan. And it's going to entail work.
Right. I think I'm a little bit ahead of the curve on that, because I've been homeschooling my daughter for like 5 years now. So we have got it down pat. We're like, really? People are having issues? We've been doing this forever. Like, what's going on? And it's exactly what you're saying, is that when we first started, we were in each other's face like 24/7. I'm like, oh God, oh my goodness. I don't know if I can handle all of this. But it was about communication, learning her what she needed. She learned what I needed for myself, because I run my own business from home as well. So it's about communication and setting boundaries. She had her own space that she went to homeschool. I had my own space that I went to work. And then we decided collectively that every Tuesday would be our day. So it was mommy.
Exactly. There you go. Yes.
We would spend all that day doing fun activities together. And even when we're in the house all day, outside that special day that we designated for each other, we would set a specific time during the evening, or sometime during the day. We'll have lunch together. We'll sit in the evening. We'll just chit chat about things, and nothing that had to do with my job, nothing that had to do with homeschool activity. Just actual conversation. And I think that's what a lot of people need to get to, like you said. And so I totally agree, is that schedule.
It's a mindset.
I mean, it doesn't always work out like that. There's some days when I'm like, I can't today. I really have some deadlines I need to meet. I need to be pounding these keyboards all day. And she understands that, because she understands that every day is not going to be the same.
Exactly. So, and one thing I want to add to, so it starts in the mind. And we have to understand, whatever our spiritual background is, whatever our foundation is, there's a resetting going on.
Right.
And so a lot of us, we've fallen off kill or off course in terms of our relationship and our contact with our spouse and our kids. And even if the kids do, it's a matter of developing that schedule. So understanding that, you know what, I was talking to another young lady, her son has autism. And the babysitter is not there. And this is the time now for them to really spend time together. And it's a total adjustment. But one of the things that we have to do now, we have to savor that experience. So it's all about a mindset whereby we try to put things in containers within that environment. And knowing that, you know what, once we're able to, and you know what, Tracy, we'll master that near the end of this quarantine. But the fact that we are going to master that, no, we are. We're going to master it.
All come out of this better be communicators and more, what's the word I'm looking for? Tolerant.
Yes.
To different personalities.
So there's a restructuring going on right now. And so as we're going through we know there's an overarching crisis going on. In our homes, there's a restructuring, and it's looking for our best interest. So we need to have that mindset. And once we have that mindset, then we know what? By the time we're out of this quarantine, we're setting a new structure, a new
Right.
atmosphere in our house. So we are going to go through the pull and the push, but that we have to have the mindset that we want to be successful and we want to unify our family.
Awesome. I like that. Yeah, I do. I really like that because I do think that our everyday activities prior to COVID-19 were so taxing on most people. They just did not have the emotional, physical, mental time,
Correct.
bandwidth to
Correct.
actually bond and connect with family members or themselves, because a lot of us don't even know ourselves. A lot of people cannot be by themselves because they don't like themselves, but now you're forced to be by yourself. You're forced to get to know who you are as a person, as a human being, and and actually work on yourself. So
Can I add one thing?
yes, go ahead.
So what's happening too is that sometimes we see people just by their titles. Oh, you're the student, you're the husband, you're the provider, you're the this, you're the that. But right now we see them as whole people, and we're able to see our husbands, they have emotions, and our children, they have emotions as well too. So now we're faced to address all the different dynamics of that one person,
Mhm.
and we're able to see exactly how's that person been under pressure, how is that person pushing through. And so
Mhm.
therefore we have to realize that we are whole people,
Right,
and
you're
there
right.
are times there we mm,
Yeah, we tend to definitely see people in different compartments, the role that we put them in, and that's the only role we take them, as a
exactly.
person to be. But we have, like I like to tell people, I am someone outside TVA consulting. I had a whole life going on outside of my business, okay? And when people see me as, oh, this is such and such mom, I'm like, I'm not only their mother, I got a whole life outside being their mother. You know what I mean? So yes, I do understand that people tend to put you in different compartments and different categories, and they see you only in that particular role, not realizing that you are a holistic person. You have a whole other life going on beyond the role that they know you to be in.
And we are
So
defrosting from our prior life now.
yes.
So this
Yes.
is the frosting that's happening while we're being reconfigured and restructured. So
Yes.
we have to allow space, but we have to set a structure to go forward to find
Yes.
that balance.
I'm all about structure because I'm all about
Yes,
strategic
yes.
planning.
And
So
I'm
I'm
not.
all about that.
I'm the flexible one. I'm the creative one. But it's a matter
Yes.
of finding a balance in between.
So another thing that I have realized that is that we not only need to, like I said, we need to work on our family bonds, work on ourselves, but we also have things, at least I'm talking from my perspective, maybe it's not everybody, but I have this list of things. It's like the honey to-do list, but I'm the honey, right? To do my own list, right? And I just could not find the time to get it done while I had to go out and network and go to different meetings and board meetings and whatever. Everything was done outside of the house prior to COVID-19.
Mhm,
So 5 days a week, sometimes I'll be out of my house, even though I work from home, right? From
mhm.
like 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the night, because I'm going from one meeting to the next, to the next. So and then on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm so tired. I just want to sit back on my couch and
Right.
watch Netflix. Like I'm Netflix and chilling with myself,
Mhm, mhm.
right? So we still have that list. Is this a good time to try to get some of these things off our list? And how do we go about it without still feeling overwhelmed? Like we're using this time to spring clean, summer clean, winter clean, everything at the same time.
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. I think this is a great opportunity for
Mhm.
us to, I call it the game plan season. And
Okay.
this is the time for us to really develop a game plan. Um, there's a lot of, we are going through a season of stillness.
Mhm.
And in that season of stillness, I talk about the 5 principles of stillness. And I really encourage prayer journaling. But one of the main caveats in that, well, the 5 principle quickly is prayer, power, positioning,
Mhm.
strategically, and then purpose.
Mhm.
But one of the key things about that in that stillness is our connection with God, but
Mhm.
also our connection in terms of using the spirit within us, the power pack within us, the thermostat, and that spirit within us is really going to help us to be strategic, to develop some strategic planning towards our purpose.
Okay.
And so in this stillness, we really have to capitalize and really connect to our spirit. And so it may involve a lot of emotional decluttering. It may involve physical decluttering, because what we're trying to do now, we are being positioned strategically for the next door, for the next season. And so there are things that we have to get done in this season. For me right now, is I'm doing a lot of branding things. I'm doing a lot of little things that I didn't get a chance to when I was so busy.
Yeah.
So you need to question yourself, and you need to get that stillness to see exactly and connect to your Father in heaven and say exactly, Lord, where are you positioning me in this season? What doors and opportunities am I gonna get to, or stand in the way, or be positioned for? And I talked this morning in our prayer group about there's a passage about the wise virgins and the foolish virgins. And in the seasons, we have to have our oils ready, because opportunities are going to come in the season, or we're going to plant seeds in the season. And so we're not going to be idle in the season. We're not going to let our relationships go down in the season. We're going to build our families, and that's where the mindset comes. We're going to build our families. We're going to build our relationships, and we're going to position ourselves strategically. Well, whether it's in the house, whether it's outside, whether it's personal, emotionally, relieve ourselves from a lot of baggage and things that are holding us hostage, and be ready to move in a stage of forgiveness, confession, and be ready for what God has for us in the next season. So it means it's a lot of work.
Yeah. So what do you say to those people who feel that they're not equipped to do it by themselves or for themselves? They just don't have the mental, emotional bandwidth to actually get it done. What strategies would you give them? How would they go about getting this done? Do they need to have a second party to intervene? I mean, go ahead and explain what you think that should happen here.
So first and foremost, I would love them to connect with me. Right now, they could connect with me every day, Monday to Friday, on the I Am My Story movement page. I Am My Story, Our Voices page. Okay. Every morning, I'm in the process of
coming to the link below when this is over.
I am coming to my community. We have a community of over 700 people. I'm coming to them. I've intentionally set up myself to be there for them as an inspiration.
Okay.
To be there for them as a support. But also, one of the things that we're doing is that we are prayer journaling. And in the prayer journaling process, I'm really taking them through the stages of the principles of understanding the power of stillness, helping them to restructure their lives. And so journaling is a powerful tool. So in this season, I really tell them, I really tell them to increase their prayer life and to journal. Connect with me. Be part of my 21-day journey of journaling. Also, too, they can reach out to me individually. I am here to be a support. If they are ready to position themselves strategically, are they ready to develop their game plan? Are they in personal work? Whatever it is, let's talk about it. Oh, are you ready to declutter? What are some of the things that are that's causing creating you to be in a hostage position? Oh, it's the season. Are you ready to write your story? So let's talk about it. They could connect with me, and I know you'll put that information at the bottom on my website, drjackiephillips.com. That's my website, www.drjackiephillips.com. And also be part of my personal page, my movement page. I Am My Story, Our Voices, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. Be part of the Oasis Hour. It's an opportunity for us to be challenged. We talk about the Oasis as the most fertile spot in the desert. And we are going through a season right now. Connect with your family and friends. And that's the next thing I would say.
Yeah, definitely connecting with your family and friends. I've reached out to people who I haven't spoken to in a long time and reconnected with them. And sometimes it wasn't that I didn't want to connect with them. It's just that I was just tired.
Yes.
I was tired. You would come home with the best of intentions, but sometimes you just didn't have the emotional bandwidth to just reach out to one more person. You're just like, I just want to be still. Well, we're still now. We're really still. Yeah. So this is the time. You have more than enough time on your hands, even if you're working from home, to get different things done. And it's time to step up to the plate and get some of these things done. And like I
Nice.
said, all of us, we can't be everything to everyone. We can only be to ourselves first. You know, I like to talk about when you're on an airplane, the first thing that they tell you, if something happens, you have to put on your mask first before you can help the person next to you, even if it's your child. And I try to remember that in everything I do in life. If I'm not good, I can't help anybody else. So I have to take care of myself emotionally, physically, and financially in order to take care of other people. And as you know, I do a lot of community work. I do a lot of volunteering. But when it's time to stop, if I'm feeling stretched, I stop and I take care of
I
me.
stop too.
Because if I don't, I'm going to be down and nobody's going to be taken care of.
Exactly.
So, you know, in this time too, I think that some people are trying to help everybody, but you first have to help yourself, and that means to stop and be still, like you said.
Yes.
Any last words that you want to give to our audience?
I just wanted to.
If anybody's on here, you have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the comment section. Dr. Jackie will answer them. If not, we're going to get off of here soon. But if you have any questions, you want to comment, let's know, and we can answer them for you.
I just wanted to add quickly. Too, that you asked what are some of the things they could do. Also, we're going to put in the link, my new book, the Be Still and Know That I Am God. I'm in the process of releasing a prayer journal.
Okay.
And it's going to take you through the season of how to go through the process of being still and being restructured to move into your purpose. So there's a restructuring happening. So I would encourage you to get a copy of that journal, Be Still and Know That I Am God. And the last thing, though, finding the balance between yourself, but also sometimes when you connect to something bigger than yourself, you're able to find joy. And so it means whether it may be daily or weekly, reach out to somebody.
Okay.
Because you may think that you're in a worse condition or worse position, but by reaching out to somebody, you're able to spread that love and spread that joy, which then comes back to you and puts you in a much better position.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Jackie, for joining us this morning on Morning Tea. If you want to connect to Dr. Jackie, I will leave her information below. She did say it in here a couple of times too, but I'll also leave it below. And join us tomorrow morning because I have another special guest for you. So join us tomorrow morning at between 6:15. I'm not going to tell you guys 6 o'clock because you know how life is. But join us tomorrow, Dr. Jackie. Thanks again for joining me today for Morning Tea.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, and cheers.
Yes. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.